This is the Play No Games podcast. We're the hardest working podcast in Portland, Oregon, man.
Play no
Game.
play no
Games
Podcast.
slash show.
Welcome to the Play No Games podcast slash show. And it's one of your hosts. It's Rob.
It's Goss.
Arthur.
And we're back here again. And we have an illustrious guest. But before we get to that, we just got to say, we'll get to it in the segment AJ will talk about. But R.I.P. to a guy who passed away. You know, he was 1/16 of the inspiration of why this channel was born.
Oh my gosh.
He was a moderate influence. So if y'all liked KS, you know, he was all about them donations. So if you in the chat right now, $ Hero Bob, donate to the group. We trying to build a studio somewhere. Huh?
Hey,
Hey.
what?
Yeah, we trying to build a studio somewhere.
What?
Yeah. We need some cash moolah.
Yeah.
But if you like what we're doing, we're trying to put you all on a higher vibration, help you with social situations. We're trying to help you in your relationships, and we're trying to have you increase your self-worth so you can be the best version of yourself. And without further ado, if you like us, like, comment, subscribe. We're on Apple Music, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
Spotify,
YouTube, Anchor.
and- yeah, Instagram. lookhere.fir.
Wherever you listen to your podcast, check us out.
Exactly. We on the gram. Follow us there. Without further ado, I think I'm gonna pass this to the big homie to take over.
So this guest today is Portland's mayor. Is known as Portland's mayor. But he goes by his nickname, Mr. Season himself.
Yeah.
What's good with you? What's good with you?
Man, I'm good, man. Family said illustrious earlier, man. I'm really excited about it. I'm wondering what you're talking about.
Yeah, we talking about you
Happy
today.
to be here, though. Happy to be
We
here.
talking about you today, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And for our first segment, man, we call it Play No Games, man. So it could be positive, negative, anything, any connotation, whatever you want it to be. But we just talk about what you play no games about.
Man, family.
Go ahead, talk on that.
My 3 F's, man. That's kind of how I move. It's family, faith, and friends. So I don't play about those 3 things. Came from a family that was very close-knit. My friends are my family, and I come from a faith-based situation, man. I'm a church kid, so don't play about my faith, my family, or my friends.
The 3 F's.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, the 3 F's. I like
Awesome.
that. That's what's up.
Awesome.
Where you at, Robert? What you playing no games about?
I have a couple of things, but I definitely think we haven't seen this guy to my left in a while. I think he should go. It's been a minute. People
ahead,
heard
Cos.
me.
I was sick last week, so I didn't want to get anyone sick.
Yeah.
And then my double. Okay. What I'm not playing no games about this week, specifically this week, on the topic of family, is Mother's Day, actually. As much as it is awesome, I had a really stressful week this week. So my Mother's Day is also my sister's birthday.
Oh, snap.
And then 2 days after is my mom's birthday,
What day is your mom's birthday?
the 10th.
That's my mom's birthday.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Love that. Yeah, so you know the
I
struggle.
know the struggle.
Yeah. So this week, a lot of double scheduled. Had to cancel on some people. Had to buy a lot of flowers, a lot of little gifts, a lot of plants. But, you know, it's Wednesday now. We got through everyone's celebration, everyone's day. So hopefully, happy to be here. Happy to just take a break for a bit. Yeah,
Wow, man. We almost got the same birthday. It's cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Tauruses.
Indeed.
I also want to say at this time too, you know, shout out to all the moms acting like moms for Mother's Day. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
All the identifying mothers, you identify taking care of your kids. Yeah, that matters because y'all be coming for us on Father's Day, so I'm gonna come for all the ones who be thinking. So, what's her name? Black China.
Oh.
Sunday's best.
Sunday's best.
That's the only day she get her kids.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Oh my gosh.
But also, just want to say shout out to my mom.
Hell yeah.
You know, everyone thinks, well, at least with me, I talk about this hero shit and all this other stuff that I'm about. I really got that from my mom. She was the very first person to turn the impossible possible. So shout out to you, PNG.
Shout out.
Shout out, shout out.
And since I'm talking, I guess I'll move to what I'm at. I don't want to play no games about. I don't want to play no games about accountability. We have fun on this show. We talk about real stuff, and then we talk about things to forward. And I want to be accountable. So a couple episodes ago, I was talking about a man. His name was Ben Simmons. I
Oh,
was talking a lot of shit. Gosh, I need a close up.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ben Simmons. I want to say I apologize
Oh, snap.
to you because you actually was hurt. But I also want to apologize to you because you stupid as fuck. Like if you hurt, why even sit on the bench? Stay your ass home. Get healed. Get the surgery early. You cost KD a ring.
He cost KD the ring.
I can't defend KD with you not being 100%.
He said, I can't defend KD.
Because every other superstar got a dub in the first round, but KD, look here, man, it's hard out here.
Hey, man, it's okay.
I gotta come for you. So I want to say accountability for I think Ben Simmons. I think there's one other person that's slipping my mind that I want to say my bad to, but it's escaped me. But Ben Simmons was on my mind, so I also want to say I want to be accountable because we talk about stuff here. So Ben Simmons, I'm glad that you're getting the surgery and things like that in between, but we're accountable here on the show. At least I am. Scott,
Yeah. What up?
do you want to apologize to somebody?
To who?
A rap legend? Snoop Dogg?
Is this a Snoop Dogg thing we're gonna go into now?
You want to apologize to Snoop Dogg, Kyle?
Why?
Hey, you called his latest album trash. Would you like to apologize for that?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay by my comments.
I tried to help you, y'all. Black Twitter, do your thing.
Black Twitter on Kyle.
It's real in here. I guess I'm not playing no games about I don't know. Today's been an interesting day. Consistency, man. I think it's important to be consistent throughout your life and just everything that you do. I think on the positive side of it is like one, it allows you to like step into different roles and be who you need to be. But then on the flip side of that, it shows like respect to other people too as well. So like I play no games about consistency, being consistent. Yeah. So absolutely. And so since I'm talking, I'm gonna hop us into like our first thing. We want to get to know Sam a little bit more. So like, who is Sam? Describe yourself to the people. Let them know.
Well, man, Samuel Thompson, Portland native.
There he is.
From the original Northeast Portland.
Man.
Not the new Northeast.
Not the new.
What you know about that original Northeast?
Come on, man. I'm an early 80 baby.
Okay.
So, I was 22nd Alberta, 11th at Killingsworth. So born and raised in Portland. Been very involved in this community for a long time.
Talk about that, man. Let them know.
Just had over the years, saw a few things happening or not happening, and wanted to. One thing that Tam Hickok at SCI always would say, shout out to Tam, one of my favorite people in the world, is you see a need, feel a need, right? And so I moved back to Portland in 2007 and got back to a community that didn't look like the community when I left. And so I decided to kind of put myself in putting some things together. So with that being said, man, I've organized a lot of things here. And over the time of doing that, man, took on a label that I didn't want, but I received, which was, kind of the new mayor. Shout out to Paul Knowles and Dante Warren, the originals. But I'm just a Northeast dude, man, that is really big on community, really big on family, really big on Portland. So that's me, man. I'm a father. So like what you said with Mother's Day, man, shout out to my son's mom. And all the moms who do not give themselves shout-outs on Father's Day. You guys are appreciated. I didn't see no dudes yesterday saying Happy Mother's Day to themselves. But man, I'm just
Nice.
man.
That's good,
I
that's
throw
good.
parties. I love to party. I'm a hooper. I love basketball. And I love Portland, man. It's a lot of stuff. So I think kind of as we continue to talk, I can kind of
we're gonna
elaborate and
definitely
touch in on some more stuff.
tap into that. I know you do so much in the community breakdown. I know you do the Christmas stuff. You usually do what's that annual event they usually do?
A backpack.
The backpacks. You
Yeah.
do
So
that.
we do. I do next level give back,
Okay.
which is back to school drive with me and my young fella, Mike James. We try our best to, what we do, give away 1,000 backpacks, school supplies, kids get haircuts, hair done. We give away clothes, shoes, food. It's a whole experience. We do that. I do Fun Day with Black Santa.
Yeah, that's the
It's
big one.
I dress up. Yeah, I dress up as Santa Claus.
That's awesome.
Just because I think when my son was 1, his mom called me for some money to go take a picture with Santa. I was like, who's charging to take pictures with Santa? I'll be Santa, right? And so doing some stuff that I wanted to do with that, and it turned into a really, really big thing. We're able to give toys to, I think we try to do at least 500 kids. So we do that every year. I do the next level Thanksgiving, where I adopt 25 families for Thanksgiving. Turkeys, full food. What else? We got the Mike James basketball camp.
Yeah.
Shout out to KD. KD pulled up to Monaco to come rock with my little bro this weekend or last week. He'll be here for camp. That's
super
exclusive
dope
for you guys.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah, so,
Robert will have to come by and be a little fanboy.
yeah, so
he'll show up with
That's
every
super
kitty
dope.
jersey
We do
he
that.
owns.
Me and my guy Andre Lawrence, we've taken over SEI basketball camp, so we do SEI camp. It's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that I try to stay tapped in with in terms of being, locked in with the community.
And
That's awesome.
And then this is why you get that title of the mayor, because of you got the keys to everything around.
Man, it started off throwing parties. So, I started off as a club promoter. Then I opened a club. And just from doing that stuff, I always wasn't the guy that, I make $1,500, $3,000 from the community, from people coming out and enjoying myself. So I made sure that next weekend I would always try to do a barbecue or something to give back to the people that support me and make sure.
Put that money back in.
And so from doing that and being vocal and being out front, and over these years with the gun violence and Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff, I just found myself being put into situations where I had to use my voice and my influence. And so,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's grown. It's grown for sure. I don't like it though, man.
Why not?
Oh man, because anything happen, man, it's your fault.
True.
Right?
That's true.
So
Law liability.
It's kind of like that Destiny Child song. First time you say no, it's like you never said yes. Right?
Oh,
So once you step into a place of leadership, they say it, too much is given, much is required, but they don't talk about the part when you can't do certain stuff, or when you're human and you mess up, how much you get the backlash from your people.
Talk about one of the new things. You got the bingo going on?
Oh yeah, man. So
Yeah.
this Sunday. So you guys, so Sunday, May 15th at Alberta Street Pub, me and my guy Lalu, shout out to Lalu, Major League Promotions. We do trap bingo.
Trap bingo.
Yeah, man. So so trap bingo is basically you're playing bingo, but instead of numbers, you're using songs. So it's the names of artists on the boards. So we'll play a song, right? And as the song comes on, you have to match the song to the artist that you have on your board. It's the same way, 5 across, 5 up and down, 5 diagonal, and win. But shout out to Rude Boy, Black Mannequin, the Marriott. They're all sponsors. They're all sponsors of our stuff. And
Big shout outs, man.
Giving away stuff for us. So we do that every third Sunday at Alberta Street Pub.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm definitely pulling up to this next one.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
The crazy part is this last one, I think we had about 46 people, and it was 44 women and me and Lalu.
Oh yeah, so you had a good
Yes, you
old time.
guys should pull up, man. It's not, what I'm telling you, man, I'm not big into math, fam.
Oh,
But them odds, man.
Yeah.
The numbers is good.
Women
Numbers
loves
is good.
bingo.
The
Women
numbers
loves
is-
bingo.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even
Yeah,
joking.
some music, some good drinking.
Man.
Good
Because
times,
creepy guys
man.
don't go to bingo. That's why women
No,
love
bingo
bingo.
is super fun.
Oh yeah,
But bingo with music is even more fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
super
that's
dope.
awesome.
You get people getting up dancing on tables.
There
and
you
all
go.
type- all types of
There you
stuff.
go. And then it's like, because bingo is whoever hits first.
Mhm.
So you might be
real
able, it's kind of
competitive.
like name that tune. You might be doing a song as soon as the beat drop.
Oh, of course.
You hit bink, and then the next person's like, oh, I had that, but you didn't know the song.
Mhm.
So it tests your musical acumen
Mm.
That's good, that's good.
Absolutely, something to pull up on.
for sure.
So, I have a couple of questions, but I'll save the other two, which are more fun, because I want to stay with the level and layer of seriousness a little bit.
Yeah.
So I heard the name the mayor,
Yeah.
and I've always told these guys that we have presidential candidates or candidates in our community, we gotta ask them tough questions.
Mhm.
So I guess, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
how are we gonna clean up this houselessness in our community?
Man, that's a huge question. I think that the most major thing for us is to put pressure on local government, right? So a lot of times we talk about the political landscape, and they put a big focus on the national politics, right? And in that space, you don't feel that your vote matters. But locally, between your city council, your aldermans, your different representatives, there's the ones who allocate the funds and are able to make that happen. So us in Portland, we have, I think they just talked about it's 38,000 empty apartment units.
Really?
It's 38,000. They build up new apartments everywhere, and they're 2,800. Who can live there? People can't afford it,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yep.
we have all that space. We have a Safeway on 122nd. We got a Kmart on 122nd that are
Mhm.
completely empty.
Empty. Yeah.
If we really cared about people being outside and people being homeless, we would open up those spaces. And it's a really simple process. I think that we talk about things and trying to make things rocket science when it's really not, right? You open up one of those places, you put some homes in them, and you employ the homeless to run the space. Put people in the place too. So you guys, you work here. We pay you to be here. I think that. Speaking of that, man, on April 11th, man, my cousin Jeremy was found murdered. He was homeless. And I just want to
Condolences.
thank you. I just want to give a shout out
Yeah.
to my family. That was my big brody.
Condolences, man.
Sorry.
He had just experienced some things over the few years, man, with mental health and all that stuff, and found himself in a situation of houselessness. And people don't care about folks that's out there like that. I think with us as families and people that have people that are homeless and want to help, it's only so much that we can do. But our governments and our cities have money to do that. So we just got to put pressure on them folks, man.
I agree 1,010%. Because if we really look at this too, because if we go by in the last 2 to 3 weeks, right, the current latest outrage in our nation is abortion rights, and how could our Supreme Court justice do all this and things like that, and it kind of goes back, and I'm so glad you talked about local government, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much you can get done locally.
Mhm.
It's crazy. Don't get me wrong, the national pieces and things like that, because if the Supreme Court does that, I believe there's maybe 40, 30 states where there are enough local laws to let people have, safe abortions and that be covered. Now, Texas and some of the other states, y'all in trouble. But only reason why I bring that up is I know we don't talk politically on here and things like that, so I don't have a problem with myself saying certain things where it's kind of I don't have a problem with how people vote or anything like that. My major issue are the people who talk about stuff and don't vote at all,
Mm-hmm.
and especially locally. That's one of my biggest gripes and complaints, because if we look at people who are oh, why is this happening at the Supreme Court level, is you didn't vote for that judge, you didn't vote for that elected official, because there are preliminaries for those people getting to those seats, and we have the power. People are trying to say my vote doesn't matter. It actually really does. People, I'm not going to say any particular political group, they count on you being that free thinking ass person, being yeah, I'm not going to do this because of that. You have a vote, use it.
Yeah.
however you want to use it, but use it. Don't be arrogant, and that bothers me. And bring it to like the local level. A lot of stuff can get done if we accomplish it at a local level. But
Yeah,
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I think we learned that during the pandemic.
Mm.
We learned that local governments supersede anything that
Yeah.
the major government is saying, right? It's the same way that you could go to Texas and not ever wear a mask.
Yep.
Oregon and Washington, California, we were the last ones.
Mhm.
So with local governments have the total impact over the community. And so we just need to learn, number one, what we're voting for, what it is, how to introduce bills, how to push bills, vetting the people that are running for these spaces and putting the people that we want into the positions.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what local government is. I think that I was a person that really didn't understand how big local government was until I started seeing people changing Measure 11 laws, saw people changing different laws just within our city, right? Because there are different, so we go for the Kyrie thing, right? That talks about how local government has an impact.
Oh, yeah.
He could have played if the Brooklyn Nets were in Buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
but the city of New York put together a mandate.
Yep.
So it's the same thing with the city of Portland. The city of Portland has the ability to supersede anything that the state of Oregon is talking about and what the U.S. government is talking about, right? So we just have to get more educated on voting and not just going into what particular parties are saying. I don't believe that any of them have our best interests.
True.
I think it's about determining
I agree with that.
what is best for you and what you think is best for, the future. Because all of us, we have a limited time here, so we need to figure out and try to lead this place the best we can.
And it's crazy that we went down this path because I went to it's called Minority Voters Banquet. It's like a minorities voters banquet that I guess they've been doing for like 12 years, and that was my first time ever even hearing about
Never
it.
heard of it. Right.
And so they put it on in April every year, or May every year, in October. I guess there's another one in October, but there was no people of color in this minority banquet or minority voters banquet thing, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of asinine on what the whole thing is about. And there was black candidates in there. A lot of people didn't even know, half of them weren't even put on the ballot, but there was black candidates in there. And so I was like, wait, these people are from Portland? These people are from Oregon? This is like, so it's like, it's good, like you saying, man, do your research, look around and ask people, talk to people to figure out like who you want to vote for. Cause there are people like us that are running who want to get into those spaces.
And I think it's about being intentional with that.
Yeah, too.
Right? It's we see things happen and don't understand that it was a process for it to happen.
Mhm.
It's just like driving down Williams one day and you take a left, now you're a damn new season. Right? You know what I'm saying? But that happened. They met.
Yep.
They had different meetings.
Yep.
They put it onto, we put it on the public forum. We're not looking,
Mhm.
right? When PTAs are meeting, our parents aren't showing up,
Yep.
right? So we just have to be, especially speaking to, people of color, and for me specifically talking to black folks here in Portland, we have to be very intentional about understanding the impact that our local governments have on us. And if we are not an active participant in that process, we don't get whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Got me talking all political, fam. I thought we were going to talk on something else.
Hey.
I can do that. I can do that a little
but
bit.
This is like the greatest thing
Yeah.
about our show.
Yeah,
Like
so I love it.
we are balanced.
Yeah.
We're balanced because I was gonna break the tension with a joke in a few seconds. I was gonna say something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I got something to change the topic a little bit. So in terms of the charity work, it seems like you work a lot with the kids, which is really cool. First off, I want to say I was Santa one year for like a group of Romanian kids because I'm part of the Romanian community.
Yes, sir.
They didn't buy me as Santa. they immediately, the kid was like, "Oh, that's Kasi." They're like, "Yeah, no, that's not him. That's not Santa." But you fit it. You're tall. I could see the beard and everything. But have you had any cool like stories come back? Like a kid be like, "Hey, you gave me that backpack, helped me through the school year," or like, "Hey, the camp really helped me to make the team," or something like that.
Man,
That you'd like to share? Yeah.
Definitely. We call it success stories at SEI.
Awesome.
And so I started working for SEI the summer after my senior year. So 1999, so 23 years ago. Started working there. And just over those years, being able to, make a small impact in people's lives. So it's numerous athletes.
Mhm.
We have doctors and lawyers and teachers. And so I think the cool thing for me right now, just in terms of community stuff, is I started doing the Santa thing 5 years ago.
Mhm.
And my son thinks I'm Santa Claus.
Really?
Yeah, his whole life.
Okay.
My dad's Santa.
Yeah.
Right? And
That's so
Yeah.
that's so
you know,
dope.
yeah, so his whole life, and so it's actually kind of cool because Santa does get his presents.
Okay.
Right? So he thinks that his dad is Santa.
So real
And so
quick.
it's kids that's been coming since they were babies
Yeah.
that are now 5 and
Other 5. Yeah.
but then the older kids come like, that's Uncle Sam.
How long do
Yeah,
you
that's Mr. Sam.
How long do you want to hold that on to for them?
And I'm gonna do it until somebody else start doing it.
Okay.
I think that's what my thing is with everything in the community.
Mhm.
That's why I've aged out of throwing parties. Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I'll be 41 pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I'm not fresh.
Yeah.
Cool like that no more. Right. So I transitioned to bingo and different stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And I think that as a community, we gatekeep a lot of stuff. And what I want to do is give everybody the game to take it over. Right? If Bill Russell never retired, the Celtics would suck. Right? But at some point, he had to move into management.
Mhm.
You move into ownership. And you move into, so I think that as a community, we need to do that in the same spaces. So I'm going to do it until the next young fella wants to do it, and then they'll take over. And, give the advisory and guidance that way.
So I'm curious, are you familiar with the show called The Boondocks?
Yes.
You ever seen an episode about Santa Claus, the Christmas special with Riley?
Yeah.
And he's like,
He's like, Santa, you the bitch ass.
Yeah, he's like, dear Santa Claus, you need to pay what you owe.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a kid come up to you and be like, hey Sam, where that Hot Wheel I was asking about?
No, man. I've been
Sincerely?
lucky. I've been lucky. I think part of it is
That's
I'm
funny.
big and I got a deep voice, so they don't try to press me. They'll try to press me. But I've had 1 year, we were at the Elks and we had a bunch of toys. And so when the people would come in, the kids would take a picture. We'd get a mom, would get the kids a bracelet, and then they get to go pick out whatever toy is they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, some of the ladies were cutting their kids' bracelets off, sending them back through the line to get another one, and hiding toys and stuff underneath their strollers and all that.
Oh,
Damn.
But once I seen it,
Damn.
I'm like, hey, man, if you needed some extra stuff, just say it.
Yeah.
So I've seen that part. But
why is it always the
man,
parents though?
Listen, man.
That's where it
people
starts,
like
man.
to get over
Yeah.
sometimes, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
speak in generalities.
Mhm.
But if black folks can figure out a way sometimes, man. they're gonna figure it out. I've done the same thing like with our backpacks. I done had, mom show up at the park at 3:00 and ain't no more backpacks to cuss me out. I'm like, all right, man, meet me at Fred Meyer's tomorrow, man. I'll get you a backpack. But
It's so interesting you say that because on our last episode, me and AJ were talking about like heroism and like villains, and like we were trying like talking about how our society is so like romanticized of like good, bad, and all that stuff, and like really flipping it on its head. Where like, is a parent really a villain? Like they don't have nothing, and like they're working the 9 to 5, they're doing that, and like really like flipping that. And I just want to just give you some big ups and shout outs of like meeting a parent where they're at. Where you're like, all right, backpack's gone.
let's figure it out. Man, because
Thank
you
you.
wouldn't come
Yeah.
there applying that pressure unless it's something that you really needed.
Yeah, true.
Right? And so my thing with the hero and villain thing
Mhm.
is if a hero lives long enough, you're gonna become the villain.
Damn right,
You are
It's
right.
just,
Yep.
that's how it
That's
works.
crazy. I didn't even think
you
about
have
that.
to, be able to be okay with that.
Mm.
And don't put too much into that place and putting yourself onto a pedestal of thinking that, and I think that's what happens with a lot of so-called leaders in our community, because we're all human. And at some point, you're going to do something that is not, leader worthy.
Yeah.
And if you allow that to break you down, it ruins a lot of people, man. It ruins a lot of people when your hero becomes human.
Hmm.
But, if you stay hero long enough, man, you're going to be the villain. You see it, man. We got every other Batman movie. We don't know what he is. You know what I'm
Damn
saying?
right.
That's just how it goes.
It's
Or
true.
just in sports.
Just in sports.
If a guy hangs around too long, he's costing the team money with
You hear what I'm
salary.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that is because we romanticize heroism.
Like
Ain't
Mellow.
nobody no hero. People are just people.
Mhm.
And some people are exceptional in some things.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
So.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I'm
Oh,
good.
That's you then.
oh, it's me.
Yeah, back on you.
One of the things that actually that kind of like really spoke to me is before you coming in, we were kind of talking. There were some off the record things talked about. Is we got a hoop analyst himself in here. We was talking about hoops, and I just wanted to ask
Small world. I
you.
love it. Okay.
I just want to ask you when it comes to the athlete and mental health. Now, I know you have maybe some potential insider information and things like that, or just from your own experiences. When athletes talk about mental health, because I'm a mental health professional by day and things like that, how much do you think is actual mental health that they're actually experiencing, or them just being caught up in the lifestyle? Because we look at, Mr. Kyrie Irving himself, where I respect what he's doing, but he's really just riding that train. Like, he's romanticizing. He really could have been hooping. All of his teammates took that sacrifice. I would say to you, like, how are you looking at the new age athlete?
I think that there is a very thin line between the two, right? Between lifestyle and mental health. And I think that sometimes mental health contributes to lifestyle. I think that a lot of young men get thrown into very adult situations at early ages and not equipped with the proper necessary skills to be able to navigate in those spaces and through those pressures it can lead to being in the space to having mental health issues. Just imagine, being 20, getting sent to a big city with $10 million and told, right, it's fun, right? But then every time you miss, it's analyzed. When you win, it's celebrated. And those things are happening every day, right? You had 30 yesterday and you was a great. So we just watched the James Harden Sixers thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those first 5 games, they were the greatest things since Shaq and Kobe. Right? That's what all they talked about on TV. And then now he's washed.
He's washed.
Right? So just imagine, and right now is a totally different time. Jordan didn't have to deal with that. Early Kobe didn't have to deal with that. But this social media and Twitter and memes, and as much as you try to avoid it, you can't. And I think that more so of it is that these young men are not put into positions of knowing themselves before they step into this role. So with Kyrie, the best thing for Kyrie to have said was, "No, I don't want to." Period. Nope, my teammates did it. They wanted to sacrifice. I don't want to. But disguising it in religion and mental health, and you just didn't want to do it. Yeah. And I don't think that our young men are secure enough in themselves and being unapologetically themselves. Right. So if you're able to, we went through the same thing with work. They wanted everybody, and I'm not against anything, but I wasn't doing it. And so I was like, all right, I ain't gonna work here no more if I got to. And eventually it worked out. But I didn't put it on, I just said,
Respect.
the way that I do stuff and how I get down, this is what I do, and I'm not gonna do that. But that's a 40-year-old man saying that as opposed to a 30-year-old.
Or 20-year-old.
Or 20-year-old, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think, and with Ben Simmons, you could tell that for him, I don't know his situation, but he hasn't had a lot of strong, dominant figures in his life. He might got a daddy, but I don't know what his daddy was doing. Because he functions in a place of super high emotion. You're
Very true.
loud.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that's
so
what you're
that's
saying.
why I love LeVar Ball. As much as people
Yeah.
they hate him and they don't.
We're Team LeVar Ball.
He equipped his sons with the ability to not be overly emotional.
Yeah.
They know how to deal with
Mhm.
and maneuver in their emotions.
Yeah, they do.
So Lonzo could suck and not trip.
Mhm.
LaMelo could boom and not trip. And Ben Simmons had got so far in his head that he made himself hurt.
He's got a block in there.
He made himself hurt. They said
Yeah.
that the week before he got
Yeah.
the surgery.
He's like,
They
he's
said
got a
that his
mental block.
mental block that
That
is
hurt-
making
hurt
his
his
back
back,
hurt.
Markel Fultz had the same thing too.
His shoulder just stopped working.
Yep.
If you guys watch baseball, Chuck Knobloch couldn't throw the ball from third to first.
Yep.
All of a sudden, after being your mind is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's mental health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
I think some of them, but then also niggas be partying, man.
That's what
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas be partying. And so I know some people personally that, you kind of lost your mind because you lost your mind.
Mm.
You got put in a situation to where you're 20 with millions of dollars,
Yeah.
bunch of women,
Huh.
bunch of alcohol,
Huh.
some cocaine is over there.
Damn.
And guess what? Shit.
Damn.
Now you crazy.
Huh.
You know, so
Get
I'm real
addicted.
James.
Addicted to everything. James Harden.
happen.
I was
You know
gonna
what
say,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's what
Spencer
aged James
Haywood,
Harden.
You watch Winning Time.
Yeah.
You watch Winning Time. Spencer Haywood. You know, the 80s. The James Harden. James Harden is addicted to hoes and partying.
Oh yeah, that's what's aged him.
Literally.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Literally.
So-
And the worst part about it is he admits it publicly.
And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And so the thing that with him is just so amazing is he was so good that he was just naturally gifted
Mm-hmm.
at to such a place that it didn't matter.
Mhm.
But now, as he's getting older, you can tell that work ain't being done,
Yep.
Mhm.
and because he didn't have to. There's some people that dudes like that.
Oh yeah,
you can
naturally.
walk
Yeah,
right in the gym. You ain't got to stretch. You ain't got to do nothing, and you give you 50.
exactly.
You know, but as you get older, and that's where the work comes into play. And you could just tell James don't work because he didn't have to.
Yeah, that's
So
why
now-
like Giannis is one of my favorite players because he's 100% just work. He didn't have any natural talent. He had physical ability. He had physical abilities.
Unbelievable.
He may have had some juice in there. I think they're all on a little bit, but
Gotta be.
nonetheless, it's all work, and that's why he had that beef with James Harden, where James it's not hard to dunk or whatever, and all this
Hella hard.
stuff.
Everybody do it.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I'm 100% on that.
And like me and AJ have been on like this solo conversation, and I'm really glad that we're like opening and brought it up because like to make it, and we'll just take basketball off the table, right? Where I'm kind of like, I know with me, like I opened the show up being like, I was wrong. Ben Simmons was actually hurt. Like if he was capping, because we know some great cappers. What's up, Greg Oden?
Certified cap.
What's up?
Oh,
You said Greg
I
Oden?
have an amazing Greg Oden story too.
Oh, please.
So do I.
Go
I actually
ahead.
want to hear that Greg Oden story
And
at
I
some
guess
point. Yeah.
I guess for me, where it's kind of like opening it up to like not just basketball, where it comes to like accountability and responsibility, where it's kind of like I will forever give someone the grace of like, let's just say, if AJ's like, "Hey Rob, I got planning for Yayas in my foot, like I can't come do the show," and then we packing up and he's with like women walking down the street laughing and skipping. I'm like, you could have been at the show. Well, you're my mental health, and this is helping me. Where it's kind of like, as a person who's a professional, where like it's getting out of hand. Where like I see people weaponizing it in a way where it's not, or like it's almost kind of like, and I hate to take this extreme. We look at the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. Amber Heard was abusing that nigga.
He's a psycho.
Don't get me wrong, he did his wrong, but it's kind of like it's just kind of like the court of public opinion, the shield of different things, where it's kind of like, how do we hold people responsible? Because I'll go back to what you were saying, and this is like my overarching point, where it's kind of like, how does a person get into a space to be like, let me take responsibility, let me hear that? Because I know for me, that's just my thing. I want to surround myself with people who are like, Rob, that's different. Look at this differently. But a lot of people just want to hear yes things, or like, so I guess for us as men and just for people in general, how do you guys feel about like, as a society, where we should move the accountability, not marker, but like finish line, because it's very, very thin.
Yeah. Can I start?
Yeah.
So I grew up in like the ADHD generation. So I grew up with a lot of kids being like, their excuse to why they didn't do their homework to the teacher was like, oh, I have ADHD. I forgot to take my pills and all this stuff. Totally understand. It's a legit, disorder. People deal with it. It is a real struggle. But, as you mentioned, Robert, there is almost like an overuse of it in a way, and also like an over like, yes, that is, but life still has to move on, and you have to figure out ways for that not to be your vice. Some people do figure that out. Unfortunately, some people don't. But yeah, I kind of want to start with that one.
No, I agree. I'm not gonna get into any of my modalities, but like I get that. But what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts?
Go ahead.
I think that the work that I do is I'm a restorative justice specialist for the school district, and so the major piece of that is accountability and responsibility. And I think that people aren't taught what it is to truly be accountable and responsible for your actions, and don't understand how simple it is to say, I don't want to do it. Right? I think that we get into wanting to be people pleasers so much that instead of saying, for that example you gave for AJ, him lying and saying his foot was hurting, just saying, I don't want to do it today. And you can respect that more when you hear that more. But people don't want people to judge them. People don't want you to look at them a certain way. So it's really tough for people that aren't self-aware to be able to just say, the reason why I'm doing this is sometimes it's because I want to, or I don't want to, right? And so it's really simple, but it's not, and when, going into the ADHD thing, right? It's understanding that everybody don't got ADHD, but it's we learn different. I can't sit still for 5 hours, right? And we, the way that we go to school, the way that we are taught to learn is not a way that is great for the majority of young African American boys, right? And the way that that we do stuff. So a lot of stuff kids aren't able to verbalize and explain. So with my son, he's in pre-K, and we're having a really tough time with him with just some stuff that I think that could be really easy, but then he excels in stuff that I think is hard.
Okay.
And so just for him to say, he said, Dad, my brain go fast and it don't stop, right? So he's understanding, and so I have to figure out what that means. That's the only way that he could verbalize what it is that's going on with him.
Yeah.
But him being self-aware enough to be able to say, no, when I get to this number or this letter, what he's basically saying is my mind gets scrambled. They're going, I skip stuff. But he's, because of the work that I've done with him up until this point, he's able to verbalize in his own way what it is that's going on. And I don't think that a lot of us know how to really are self-aware enough to really say what it is that's going on with us.
Yeah. I have to continue on to that too. Like, I think a lot of parents aren't, like you were saying, are self-aware with themselves. So they can't even teach self-awareness to their kids, or even have the time to teach self-awareness to their kids because of a lot of stuff or situations that are going on. But I also think we're in an apologize era where people don't want to fully accept their apology or fully give an apology. And so it's like, I did wrong, but kind of somewhat. I didn't do the full, and it's like, there's no taking full credibility for something that they've done, right? And I think when it comes to social media, where you can hide your apology and say like, oh yeah, I'm sorry for what I did, but then go ahead and post the same thing you was just talking about beforehand, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And
Sorry that got caught.
Yeah. Like
and
that.
Apology is ass after you say but. Right?
Very
the apology's done as soon as you say but. And I don't think we don't understand that.
Yeah.
But again, right? It's these aren't things that are taught, and it's not even in your biggest teacher as an adult is your friend group. So if you're around a bunch of motherfuckers that don't hold each other accountable, you're gonna have a real tough time being accountable.
Yep. That's real. Absolutely.
He said his guys keep you humble, man.
Man, got to.
You have to.
I'd like to hear that Greg Oden story if you don't mind telling me.
Oh man, so
yeah, let's get sour. Real quick.
so it ain't a bad.
Because I love Greg Oden.
It's dead. I do too. Because so what my story is I saw what everybody saw to where he would have the hype that he had.
Okay.
So I moved to Indianapolis in 03.
Okay.
So it was Freddie Jones that got drafted. So growing up, that was one of my really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had moved to Indiana with him his second year for the Pacers.
Cool.
And so so that's the year before they got into the Malice in the Palace. And that's a whole nother story that we can talk about at a later time.
Were you there for that?
Yeah. No, I was at that crib though.
Okay.
When he came home, and I was like, "Bro, why ain't you duck, man?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That's awesome.
and I was there for the Steven Jackson thing and all that, man. So yeah, I got some stories, but so I was there, and so this is why Indiana basketball is unbelievable. So up until 2003, it was one state tournament for the whole state. Wasn't no 1A, 2A, 3A. Everybody went to the one state tournament. So
That's so dope.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
So that's why Hoosiers in the movies are so tight, because that little school had to go beat everybody.
Oh.
But Greg Oden then won 3 state championships in a row. And so, man, he ran like David Robinson.
Okay.
He could catch. He could do it. He was amazing, bro. Mm-hmm. And so at Indiana basketball at that time, just in his league, at Broad Ripple was George Hill.
Okay.
At Pike was Jeff Teague and Robert Vaden.
Oh.
At Tech was Rodney Carney. At Carmel was Josh McRoberts.
Man, I ain't heard that name
North
forever.
Central was Eric Gordon.
Wow.
So all these dudes are in the city, and then they went to Lawrence North. It was him and Mike Conley.
Mm-hmm.
On the same team. Man, it was amazing, bro. Just
That's
watching
crazy.
the basketball. And he was unquestionably the best at everybody.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. He would come to the games. J.O. would go get him and work out with him and give him clothes. And so it was literally, that was the right pick.
Yeah, no,
He just had a situation. He had never been hurt before.
Yeah.
And people don't remember that his freshman year at Ohio State,
Mhm.
he played left-handed.
Yeah.
He broke his right hand
That's crazy.
and played the whole season
Mhm.
left-handed, averaged 16 and 12 and 4 blocks, and took them to the national championship. So I saw Greg as a kid, and he looked older at 15 than he did at 22. So I think family got the Benjamin.
Damn.
Yeah,
I think he got the Benjamin. But he
that's
was.
so
I
funny.
saw him as a 14-year-old,
Oh, wow.
15-year-old, and he was out of this world, bro.
I say this
crazy.
today.
Out of this world.
If we redid that draft, I'm still taking Greg Oden.
Because what happened to him is like, I
Could
just
happen to
think that
anyone.
we have
Could
the
happen to
worst-
Kevin Durant.
We have the worst training staff in sports.
Oh, you think so?
Portland, Oregon has
Bob.
the worst training staff in sports. People come here and break down. And it's not because of the freaking weather.
Mm.
It's we have a terrible training staff. Because the same people that couldn't play here and couldn't go on the court here leave
Play way better.
perfectly fine.
Yo,
And
Rasheed Wallace.
Gary
Yeah.
Trent.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. They literally say that. Save your career, leave Portland.
Yeah, and it's because of the organization. It doesn't have nothing to do. The little young dudes love it here. They get more pussy than they ever got in their life.
Oh yeah.
Excuse my language.
Oh, you can,
You can say whatever. You can say whatever you
You can
want.
say whatever you want.
They get more pussy than anybody here.
Oh yeah.
Being a black dude with some money and new, fuck everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very destination. That's why people come here and play here and never leave.
Literally.
That's crazy.
It's just the organization that get hurt. It's a wrap.
It's a shame because you look like Miami. Miami's probably got the best training staff.
There you go.
That like guys go there, get 6 packs and ball out.
They
Like,
got Antoine Walker looking in
Yeah.
shape.
That's all.
That motherfucker look crazy right now. He's about 400.
That's so funny.
I think at this time, because I feel things getting a little more loose. We would back in the day put in a commercial at this time, but we waiting for the proper sponsor.
Ain't no one paying us now.
Somebody paid y'all today. Anywho, so, I ain't gonna say who it was, but it was a person you love, but the hero you need, but not who you deserve. But anywho, a part of this show is really talking about relationships. It starts from like a space of one guys talking about it because there's not a lot of space where guys can really talk about like not just like talking about women, getting women, things like that. Like really like the circle of life of like what guys should be doing in relationships and like being on this earth. So at this time, we're gonna get a little ratchet.
And you speaking my language now, baby.
Yeah, I told you.
But I definitely at the beginning of the show, definitely did a little shout out because I definitely do want to say R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. The reason why I want to say R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels and kind of start our conversation off with something that happened is Kevin Samuels was image consultant, and then he did a lot of stuff and a lot of work on men, and then what really blew him up is him talking about
Fashion.
no, I will talk about he did bash. I'm gonna give it to him on both, but like he definitely had a very opinionated version of how to talk about
I would
women,
say it like that.
but it was in a way that shocked us all because we would be kind of saying it not like him, like
Yeah, absolutely.
But Kevin Samuels blew up, and then unfortunately he died to heart disease and on a woman. Ironic, but. All we gotta say
Wait. Can you repeat that part?
Yeah, he had a heart attack, and that's the part I know is true, but allegedly, I'm just gonna say this allegedly, that it was a heart attack, and he was with a gal at that time.
He died on top of her.
Yeah, allegedly.
Hey,
man, listen.
If you ain't going out right,
Hey, man, listen. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's a pretty way to go
Hey,
out.
man, listen.
I hope that's where
I don't. Hey, man.
he came in this world out of it and went out.
Hey. But long story short, just to bring it all together, Kevin Samuels had a lot of people talking about what's the true importance of a relationship, where you hate it or love him. He wasn't Hitler, but I will say this: when he passed, and the conversation I kind of want to have all with you guys is, I saw like a lot of people like laughing.
It was disgusting.
Yeah,
he died.
It was disgusting.
So, what do y'all think about someone? Like, I will say this: Kevin Samuels was controversial. He definitely his delivery and how he says stuff I didn't like, but it's almost kind of like when you watch or talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. He's saying the truth. He's saying something but he's also entertaining. And if you can't have that context, that's the next thing I wish we would have on TV. If you can't conceptually understand what's going on, you can't watch this.
Yeah,
because it's not. It's an extreme. It's a spectrum. But the overall big question I want to ask all of y'all: how did y'all take people reacting to Kevin Samuels dying, and/or just Kevin Samuels in general?
Go ahead.
It's free game for anybody.
So for me, I knew what he was doing, and he knew what he was doing, and he did it intentionally, right? I think a lot of times in those influencer and social media spaces, it's better for your brand to sensationalize things. And so, although I don't necessarily agree with his delivery a lot of the time, I believe if you really listen to what he was saying, he made some points. Now, what we all have is the freedom to determine what it is that we ingest. And so, if people weren't watching him, he wouldn't have gotten more and more extreme with what he was doing, right? And so those ladies would literally get on Zoom and call him, knowing good and well that he's going to talk crazy to them, call them funky bitches, and then hang up on them. And they subjected to themselves to that because they liked it. And so after he died, me and a couple females that I'm cool with, like, ain't cool right now. Because of the reaction to a person losing their life. And what I saw a lot on the internet was karma, and he wasn't no rapist or child molester or killer.
No.
He said things that you didn't agree with, like a lot of people did. Saying, you funky black bitches is not a reason to die.
No.
You shouldn't die because should you say that, man? No, unless they some funky black bitches. But it's funky white bitches and funky Mexican bitches and funky Romanian bitches. It's all kind of funky bitches, right?
Yeah.
Damn
But
right.
because
That was good.
because you call somebody that's
yeah.
not ground to be celebrated for dying.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
believe Kevin Samuels in much the same way, because you know how much I don't like Steve Harvey.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can't stand Steve Harvey. He's one of my least favorite people.
He threw
Same.
a lot of good
But-
guys under the bus.
But
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't celebrate that, man. That's a very tragic thing.
Oh yeah.
I celebrate when bad people die.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody gets executed for murdering and raping some women and kids, yeah, let's all have a party about him. He need to die.
Yep.
But somebody that just says something different or differentiates in their way that they approach things. But he knew what he was doing, and he said it before.
Mhm.
Because when he talked bad about men for years, but niggas wasn't tuning in. We don't care about what you talk about.
Exactly.
Man.
If a dude gets on TV is talking bashing men, we don't watch none of those shows where the women talk. You watch The View?
no.
No. You know why? Because they're sitting there talking about us, and we don't give a damn about what y'all talking about. So he wasn't getting his necessary blow up from that. He knows that women listen. And women have self-image issues, some of them,
So yeah.
and he capitalized off of that market. And like you said, man, it's the delivery. It's not always what you're saying; it's your delivery. And his delivery was a little abrasive.
There. Yep.
But I think that's like the society that we live in too. Like delivery is everything nowadays. You could say something completely fucked up nice, and people were like, "Oh no, he was just like, no. Do you not hear what he actually just said to you?" Like, and I think people lose that train of thought of actually listening to the words that are being said. Instead, you just hearing how somebody's talking to you. Why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you. I'm literally just having a regular conversation. And I think that triggers a lot of people in different ways when we talk about these like trigger things, and especially in women. I think they get triggered more than men. I think men don't give a fuck a lot of times. Like,
No. Niggas give a fuck.
We
No,
do.
no.
but I think it comes out differently,
And
right?
we
Like,
can compartmentalize it or just cut it off. Like if somebody
True.
says some shit I don't like, I just ignore it. Some can't, but I'm never going to. I will never
Okay.
Zoom call a woman that I know talk bad about dudes and get on there and she asks me how much I weigh and how tall I am and what I do for a living and my dick big. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going.
I gotta wait till.
I'm not going to engage in that.
Mhm.
Your whole point of getting me on here is to say some crazy shit to me, so you can put that up, get all these views, and get your bread up. So I don't think men, for the most part, like to subject themselves to that type of shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. Exactly. I think in today's world, if you want your message to get out, you have to be abrasive. You have to cut through all the crap so that people see you. And then once you dust off that abrasiveness, they see the real image. I think that's exactly what Kevin Samuels was. I found him funny. I'm not going to say like I was a diehard fan of the guy. I just, I'm on TikTok, so I saw his clips a lot. They're
He's hella
amazing.
funny, man.
They're hella funny. I think my favorite moment is when, it wasn't even like that bad of a moment too. This girl got on. He asked her like how old she was. She's like, guess. And he just, and the call said, guess these nuts. I thought that was perfect. I was like, exactly. Like, yeah.
I have a couple favorite Kevin Samuel moments, and they're gendered neutral, all of them. I'm gonna go one for the gentleman. I think this will win to one of my group chats. I think I laughed for like 5 days straight. This guy gets on here and he's like, I deserve a high value woman. And then Kevin Samuels is like, how much money you got? He was like, 30K. And then he's like, and he asked him all these different things. And he's like, you funky N-word. Why would any chick want to submit to you? And then he's like, do you at least got a big dick? And he's just like,
He said, you know if you got a big dick.
I said, this guy asked me on Suicide Watch. I said,
Oh, no.
I said, you just can't do this so personal like this. He was so choked up because I'm just gonna say, if you know what you get carrying, you ain't Summer. You like, yeah, I'm Thriller in the middle. I'm Summer Slam Jam. I'm Slim Jimmy. Second clip. This I forgot. I think it was like 4 of the women, something like that. This woman said she was like 6'4" and like something like 180 pounds, and he's like, you can't be talking to me, and he was like, you run the power eye like
Oh, the way said built like Barry Sanders.
Oh.
She said she was 5'8", 220. So you hit the eye gap.
He said,
No, he was funny, man. Horrible, but hilarious.
like I think he literally was like he didn't have the. I think Kevin Samuels had the ability to be a comedian, but just didn't want to do it. Like he was that.
He was a real life anti-hero.
For real.
That's what it
He
was.
figured
yeah.
out his lane, man,
Yeah.
and he was excelling in that joint.
That's funny as hell.
I just don't get why anybody, the man wasn't married, never seen his kids, you don't got no woman. What are you taking relationship advice from him?
Yeah.
Like, for real. That's why my issue, I'm going to tell you about it. I don't like Steve Harvey, man.
That's fair.
You know
I
why?
don't blame you.
Yeah, 4
Steve
wives.
Harvey's on his 3rd or 4th wife.
Mm.
He got with his new wife when her kids were in their double-digit ages and teenagers. He gave all of her kids his last name, which I think is the most wild shit in the history
I didn't know
of
this.
the
Okay.
world. Lori Harvey ain't his daughter.
Oh,
He got with the mama when she was in 5th grade. So how the hell her name Lori Harvey?
I didn't
So
know that.
he's just he's a pussy whipped man, fam. The wife is bad though. Marjorie is bad, but Marjorie had a bunch of old dope dealing. All their daddies was dope dealers from Memphis.
Mm.
And he didn't take, if you ever listen to his older kids, he didn't take care. He got daughters my age that he
Yeah.
didn't really fuck with.
Yeah. He didn't take care of his older
There
kids.
you
I didn't know
go.
that.
And then you met with a woman with 3 kids and you gave her, I wish I motherfucking would. And I wish that my son's mother would try to get, she can be with whoever she wants to and try to change Jet last name. All right, fuck everybody up, man. And as a man, why would you even let a woman, it ain't like you got with her and her kids were little. And you get into life with a woman you're dealing with her and she got a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, or even over time, the kid at 17, 18 is like, you know, I love you as my dad. Would you adopt me?
Yeah.
I do that. But that shit, that girl is living, she has not a skill on earth.
Mm-mm.
She's fine, and she's living off the last name of a nigga that she met in 5th grade. He's a sucker.
He's a sucker.
Merry Christmas to him.
And I think that's like that was like my issue with.
She
where it's
bad,
almost
though.
got- huh?
She bad, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was like literally my issue, literally with just like Steve Harvey, where like I can see the good that he's trying to do, but like also I can see like the cat.
It's bro code, my nigga.
He broke the code with that
You
book.
don't do that.
He literally did.
I had a bro try to 90-day me. Bitch, you ain't about to make it to 10. About to stall me out on this coochie, man, that you giving away.
And the fact,
Yeah,
and the
right.
fact that that part of that book that was missing, and this was almost kind of like what like Kevin Samuels was saying, your value is determined upon what you are currently doing, because I bet you where it's kind of like Ross may not wait 90 days depending on what it is. I'm waiting the full 90 days and he's waiting half the time. So you're telling these dudes who are at different levels in life who are not the same stupid shit. And you're holding people to standards that are unrealistic. And
Mhm.
you're you're setting this person up for failure. And I think that actually, now I'm going on a rant. That is literally my issue currently. What's going on with like the whole like dating cultural circuit and things like that, where it's kind of like, I can say this. So in 2015, just graduated U of O, and I just got the idea of like, you know what? I want to build my own matchmaking company because, like, you know, Will Smith, I'm sorry, but like, you inspired me to do these things. But, you know, I don't want my life to end up like yours. So,
Damn.
Hey, man, it's a real space.
Let me just say this, where it's kind of like, I just got tired of people taking advantage, not just of men, just of people who are really trying to
Find love.
Where it's kind of like, people need to have these skills. So I literally go downtown to one of these matchmaking places. I literally, guys, camp out for like 2 weeks because I try to talk to who's running the place. We're like, all right, how do I do this? How do I get into the game? So, I got a cold mouthpiece. When you talk, you talk. The receptionist lady, she got to know me.
Just being receptive.
So one night after, because I went after my work shift, hard work beats talent, talent work hard, KD, if you listening. But anyway,
Nigga.
hey. So like the last, it was like
This
the last.
dick riding.
Hey, KD, my boy, bro.
He's DR, right?
So
Can't handle the dick riding.
So literally,
Oh my God.
actually, the Supreme Dreams have a video about this.
No,
I
just
can support my man.
Oh.
So long story short, she closes up shop. She literally takes me behind the the counter,
Whoa.
and she goes over all of what matchmaking is, and matchmaking at these places where you see at the hotels, where matchmaking, it's a literal scam. All this is a scam. And I just got so upset because I looked at the average person they would charge to help match you and get some matches versus if they knew you were a Nike exec. These people were communication degrees, all this other. They really didn't fucking care, and they were just matching people together. And there was no care, there was no time, there was no skill building. And I was like, if these people can do this, I can do this because I'm going to do this with more intention. I have more of the background. I can legitimately help people find love or have the skills to find love or find themselves. And that's the part that just makes me upset with a lot of these people who are getting into these spaces of oh, I talk about dating, I talk about this. Where you're just really preying upon the innocence and the weakness of a person who really wants love. And as a person who wants to fight for that every freaking day, that's my superpower. It's just so invigorating to see people like Steve or Kevin Samuels. He's in the middle for me. Why? That's the most human essence we have.
It's capitalism. All of it is capitalism, and it's figuring out the best way for you to get ahead, right? Because if you did teach people the skill of love or the skill of finding love and knowing that love is not a one-size-fits-all thing, you're going to run out of people. You know what I'm saying?
Not a customer.
You teach if you know and you use intention to hook this person up with this person that you know they're going to be with, you don't have a repeat customer. So it takes away from your money. So you need to be able to create something to where you're hopping around from different dating and keep coming back. Because it's capitalism. Everything is, bro.
Are we still dogging on Steve Harvey?
We can.
I just want to add the thing about what he said about Asian men. You guys remember that?
No. What did he say?
He said it was along the lines of I don't understand how any woman could find Asian men attractive when they're just so weak in our society.
Oh
Whoa.
shit!
He's physically weak. They just feel as a race they're physically
You
weaker
didn't watch
than
blood sport?
he said that. I was
Kickboxer?
just blatantly racist comment. And I was,
Mr. Hightower said that?
Again, we talk about who we're
Mr. Potato
talking
Head.
about. This dude didn't know nothing about love
Nothing.
and happiness when he was on the Steve Harvey show.
No.
Steve
He got
Harvey
with a
show.
woman that, look at his ass on the internet now. He dressed like the fucking Migos, bro. And he's 63. He got on Balenciaga and shit, bro. What are you talking about?
So you gonna,
I'm 40, fam. I wear hoodies and sweatpants every day, man. You're going to catch me showing my belt. I'm not no damn rapper. And then, this is my last Steve Harvey thing.
Okay.
And then this motherfucker let his daughter date Puffy.
Yep.
You obviously don't give a... Puffy's
Yeah.
50-something years old. That girl's 24.
Take that.
And now Future, right?
Yeah.
Future.
And that's with Michael B.
everybody.
Jordan,
Yep.
which is cool. That's more speed, whatever.
Mhm.
And then you let that man come. I wish my 20-something-year-old daughter would bring a 40, 50-year-old man to my dinner table.
Oh, are you bad boys in
I'm gonna
it?
beat his ass. It ain't no bad boy.
Oh, damn.
You're not even allowed in the crib, bro. Not allowed in the crib.
I think we just, man, it's
Take her somewhere and do something. Don't come to my house.
we live in it's a weird society, man. How can we stay popular? How can you stay relevant? How can you stay in the space to capitalize off of whatever you want to make? And I mean, it's to the point where I hate to continue the Steve Harvey show, but he got on to the hosting and was talking about the whole Will Smith situation, talking about if that happened to me, my wife, I would have done the same thing. And it's like, but you didn't do that for the last 3 or 4 wives that you had,
You wouldn't have did shit.
and you wouldn't have done nothing. So it's like,
And if
we
you
all,
did, you'd have been a sucker too.
and it's just people in society, I think, put on a show for the face and not for the reality of what it is.
Sensationalism sells, my friend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And how can you
Guys,
stay?
to make a clip saying some super crazy shit, and your views will go through the roof.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to. Like me, I don't want to compromise myself for some likes.
Yeah.
And I think it's really easy to do that.
And that's why I told you, even at the beginning of the show, I know what we have here. As we showed you the peaks and valleys of, we'll get goofy with it, we'll get serious with it. We're trying to, where like, I try to move away saying like having real conversations, because I feel like every show and podcast is saying that we're trying to have a conversation, because everyone is just saying stuff to be like, all right, I'm trying to be, top of this podcast or do this like this or things like that. It's literally about the journey, because every day, and it's so interesting, no matter how many views we get or things like that, I know someone's waking up every Wednesday or Thursday when this comes out. Somebody's listening to it. We have not had 0 listens. Somebody is watching. Someone is taking this in. And I would just say this. I think as people, we underestimate whether it's 50K people, 10 people. When you pass that energy to like really uplift someone's life with not expecting anything in return, like literally, that's what life is. It's paying it forward. It's dropping the ladder down, because, and this is why I like the Asian culture. It's all about the family name. Like, you're doing this for honor. You're doing this for the generation that's going to come in the next 3 to 4, because we can see the vision. We get it. And I think that's something that I guess maybe I feel like I'm the alien here when it comes to like living, at least in America and things like that, where it's kind of like, yo, like, you don't get the bigger picture of why this is going on. We are our ancestors, best dream, what we're doing like right now. So it's just, so to me, so a lot of this stuff to me, it's funny. I'm a laugh, but it's just ridiculous.
I think that what I like about you, because I've been on quite a few podcasts, but this is, you guys is the Brodies just talking. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes this dope, because the Brodies is just talking. It's not, you guys, this is a genuine and organic conversation that ain't forced. It's like the Brodies is talking. I think you guys are really on to something. I like it. But what you just said got back to what we was talking about earlier with the gatekeeping, and not understanding that in order for things to excel and continue, you have to put people in position to be able to do what you were doing better than how you did it.
Yeah.
And get up out the way.
Yeah.
I guess what we could do to round third base to bring everything in is, I think in my opinion, I think we did a really good job of really, talking about, women things. We talked about like guy things, but like I want to ask y'all, when it comes to, I feel like this would be a funny conversation
Here we go.
right now. This is gonna be funny. You've been doing stuff. Heck, you said there's 48 women at the, trap bingo, so I'm pretty sure this is.
I'm a ghetto legend.
Okay.
Absolutely. if you haven't followed him on Instagram,
I'm a ghetto legend, man. I'm a ghetto legend.
yo,
Constance,
wow.
I've lived a beautiful life, man.
All right.
Wildin'.
All right. Constance,
Man, Texas stays in my head, man.
Man. We doing Jamaica next month.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
about to show you the group.
Love Jamaica.
58 people going, 14 dudes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Huh?
Where you going? Montego Bay?
Montego Bay.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Just stop
Rio.
doing stuff.
I've been to Montego Bay. I've been to Negril. Love
Yeah.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Jamaica's
We're doing
phenomenal.
Montego Bay, June 9th to the 13th.
Fuck,
I'll
I'll be in Alaska.
All right.
Yeah, we got the Rio Reggae, Montego Bay, and Palace all connected. It's about to be crazy. I'll show you guys the stuff in a second.
Oh, the Rio?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I fuck with guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
Dude, it's all about that.
Oh, Cuddy. Hey.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have the Michael Jackson show at night
Come
and
on,
all
man.
that. Yeah, you're
Come
gonna.
on,
Yeah.
Thriller. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Right before I
That's
feel
how all those all inclusive.
Hey.
I just heard that.
Hey, man. Just tell him, man, call me Anthony. I'm a pillar. You know what I'm saying? Or Chucky. Or Devin. I'm a booker.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you.
Wow.
That's so funny. So Terrell,
We got caught up in a little run back and forth after third. It's your turn.
I'm curious. Currently, right now, in the current like dating market and just everything in between, as real as y'all can, what do y'all think is the major issue with dating currently right now?
Ooh. I must say, like, keeping up with the Joneses, and I say that because I feel like people try to live a life that they don't have, they can't afford, or they're thinking above their means, and so when a relationship comes into an encounter, a female or male sees the lifestyle and wants to be a part of that lifestyle, and this person can't keep up with that lifestyle, and so now I'm with somebody who is actually the opposite of who I thought they were, and now it becomes a clash in the household. Clash becomes money. Clash becomes everything else, and now I can't keep up with the Joneses on my social media to be with so and so who says they was doing this and doing that. So
Yeah, powerful. I want to say this, Cost, get the close up.
oh shit,
It's there.
Get the close up. If I see another motherfucking dating profile and it says, I am looking for friends on a dating app, I'm going to reach my hand into the phone and strangle you.
Facts.
That makes
Facts.
no
yeah,
fucking sense. I'm just here to have fun and things like that. I'm just really looking for friends. So when I say I just want to fuck, I'm wrong. But when you just want to look for a friend, nah, fuck that shit. Mixed intentions are killing the game. Literally, because I want to piggyback. Yes, keep up with the Joneses is a big thing, but like people, and also bring what you're saying. If a dude is unapologetically saying, because my whole baseline is, if you say your intentions, I'm cool with that. But if you're masquerading or bouncing around, be like, I'm just kind of catch a vibe, nigga, you know what you up to. You just out here trying to get the kitty cat. You trying to get some meow. No Doja. But anywho.
I
can do it too.
I like that. Hey, no Doja.
It just bothers me because it's like you're wasting your time. And I want to give, and I'll end on this. One more shout out, rest in peace, KS, Kevin Samuels, is he talked about money, capitalism, all that other stuff. One of the things that I will take and I'll always say on any big platform I ever go on is Kevin Samuels talks about no one understands that you can truly make money from a nuclear family. Everyone thinks you have to be independent. Everyone thinks you have to be a bad boss. You have to be a, Gucci this, Gucci that. No, there's a lot of money and power building a family. It just looks different. You just don't want to put that investment and time in it. And Kevin Samuels said that himself. Not on some wild, like literally, as a person who works with people trying to build families, if you have two incomes, if you have two people working, that's two incomes. And then, like, it's so crazy. Like, once you have a well-oiled machine, I promise you, we all look at Russ and Sierra. They're rich, but they're still working together. There are a lot of people who are in the middle class, a lot of different things who are doing that it's realistic relationship goals.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to put in the work and you have to have your intentions be pure. But yeah.
Go ahead,
That was
Costa.
good. Honestly, Robert, that's exactly what I was going to say. But to keep it fresh, I'll say something else. Because I actually agree with you 100%. It is that. I'm not going to get into that. There was a funny comment I saw today on Hinge. I'm not even going to mention.
Please.
She was saying
Man, listen, I just had me a hand situation last week, man.
Oh.
Interest in space.
It is an interesting space. Some comment about like, oh, why you should date me, and she was like, oh, because I'm this, this, and this. But too bad I'm not looking to date anything right now. Haha, with like a winky face. And I was like, why would you even put that? Like, you just sound stupid. Nonetheless, to keep it fresh, I'll say like I'm a little younger than everyone else in this room. Not the flex.
Okay.
But like everyone in my demographic, specifically women, are in a very different stage in their life. Some are still going to school, some are working now. So everyone's kind of in a different stage, and it's really hard to understand. Like, are you looking for something casual? Are you looking for something serious? You don't know who you are yet. No one knows who we are yet. All this stuff. So for me right now, that's the challenging part. Is just like everyone in my age group is still just trying to figure out who they really are on this earth. Especially living in Portland. I mean, every girl my age is trying to leave Portland, if I'm being honest. So they don't want to start anything.
Yeah, I think for me, man, is you're going up against somebody else's highlight film.
Oof, that's good.
Shit.
That's good.
IG. I think Instagram is the worst thing to happen to relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're trying, like you said, you're trying to keep up with somebody's highlight film. And dating now is turned into what can I post and what goals, right? Goals is buying a purse and sending these flowers and hopping a flight and going on trips. And that is what people are equating to love now. What you see you always see it, energy. My man just bought me a AMG. Or they got a Lambo truck or these purses and these big elaborate things for, their birthdays. And so that's where people's baseline expectations are now.
Yeah, that's true.
And now more so than ever, I believe that dating is based on money at this point. And dating has never, and courting had never been based around money. It was based on getting to know someone. And then if you guys do connect on that level, building wealth together. But right now it's everything. I'm telling you, it's and I talk to Eddie about this a lot, man. Getting a fine chick off Instagram is the easiest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is buy a plane ticket and get her somewhere. I'm telling you this. It's the easiest thing on earth because it's been reduced to that. And I think that, for people coming now, it's you're expected to help with bills on a house you don't even live at. You know what I'm saying? You're expected to,
I'm sorry.
for real. Women expect you to come in and pay some bills at a house that you don't live at, and another nigga can come over there and boo-boo at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
How was your bitch?
that's what I'm saying. But that's where we are. And I think it's in a horrible, horrible spot.
Yep.
Because that's not the love Granny and them had. You know what I'm saying? That's not the love that certain folks had. It wasn't based off. Now, you do need to meet somebody that's on your level. I think that that's not bad. If you have a ground expectation of you want somebody, but I think everybody should want somebody that's comfortable in life. But everybody's not making. I hate the internet. They make it like everybody's making $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And no, they're not, man.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 2% of the population are making $100,000 a year. Dead ass.
Yeah.
But if you've seen the internet, everybody got it figured out. So I think Instagram is the worst thing to ever happen to dating. That's where we are right now.
And if you combine two incomes, if you make 50K, he make 50K.
Got 100.
Oh my gosh, I'm crazy.
There you go.
I'm crazy, right? Oh my gosh. Trip to Cabo.
And you can live the life that one dude that was making 100 was taking. You can take all those trips together.
And why would he pick you if you're going to stress him out?
Yeah,
When he's going to pick someone who's going to have less conversation, pose, and then you're out. It's. I guess I'm the crazy one. I'm just trying to make sure. I just want to. God instilled in me to put on your heart, so you can have everlasting.
What I'm hearing, fam, is you about to be the new Kevin Samuels with less abrasiveness.
No, I am.
Because you got some good game to give. You want to give it to the world.
Now, I am going to be me. I'm going to be the best Rob I can be. And the best Rob I can be is literally like what we're doing here. Because I just say, and this is like my whole thing when it comes to relationships and love, when it comes to a lot of different things. So studying the human anatomy, studying like body language and all that other stuff. I think I innately had that. School had me like sharpen that. But the real key in all of it is staying humble, because I learned stuff from Koss, I learned stuff from AJ, I've learned stuff from you, because the real masters of any craft knows that you always have to be a student.
Learning.
And that's why I like to give platforms to people who, in time to be like, no, listen, he's actually, or she's actually, or they are actually non-binaries. I'm fucking with y'all. You know, like
Literally.
y'all are
The NBs, man.
y'all are saying stuff, because at the end of the day, the one thing
Man.
we all humans understand and know is love. You go to a country, you fall, you reach out a hand. You don't need to know how to say anything. You reach out a hand. You know this person is looking out for you. That's love, and that's my fight. While I'm here on this earth, is reminding people the importance of what love is.
Mhm. I want to clap to that. That's beautiful, man.
You a wild boy. So I'm being the best robber, and I'm creating this whole lane for us, so we can have some real love. But this has been a wild installation.
It's been good. It's been good.
This was wild.
Absolutely good.
I just want to say thank you.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me, man. My man.
Make sure you plug your IGs, your business. Let the people know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Say, hey, man. I like messing with you. So, Instagram at seasoning, SEEZNIN. That's seasoning on Instagram.
Put that on your spice.
Seasoning 503 on Twitter. That's where it gets spicy. Don't come there unless you're ready. And but no, man, make sure you guys look out for Major League Promotions, Next Level Sports and Entertainment. We got a lot of dope stuff coming up. This is gonna be the first announcement. Mike James' birthday weekend, August 18th to 20th. We got a lot of dope stuff coming up. We got some super dope artists coming. We got a big party. We got a celebrity softball game. We got a comedy show. It's going to be dope. So you guys are the first to get that information right now. But again, man, it's Next Level. I'm your boy Sam, a.k.a. The Mayor, a.k.a. Seasoning.
Yes, sir. And you know what this
Church
is.
announcements before we get out.
You already know. Sunday, definitely, I do a cooking show on Brace Yourself, Oregon. We do a Sunday vegan cooking. Make sure you follow that. Learn some new recipes. Learn something different. That's Sundays. You can also follow me on my Instagram, Chef Boar Dixon. Yes, sir.
Any church announcements, guys?
Go support your local bar, not your local club, local bar.
Shout out McGillicuddy's, man.
Yeah, shout out Toffee Club. Yeah, go
Let 'em
shout
know.
go to your local bar, the dive bar, whatever it is. They need a little help. Go have a drink. Why not?
Yeah. Good man.
I love these guys. Well, with all that being said, this has been the Play No Games podcast /show.
And we out. Peace.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.